Alright, I'm back again, take 2. I was in the process of recording and the camera literally just shut off. I'm going to try and get back and cover everything that I was getting into before and basically start over. Got quite a bit that's gone down today, and a lot of it is rumor and innuendo, so I don't have a link I can provide. But for starters, the first thing is that Wall Street Journal came out and said that there is a trend with white suburban women going from Democrat to Republican. I would love to have the original Wall Street Journal, but I'm not going to pay to review that, so Fox News it is. Because it's free. In the article, they referenced, I think it's 20% of the voting populace fits that demographic. So that's a fairly substantial number. We also there's been people saying that early polling and the early voting indicates Miami-Dade County might be going Republican, or at the very least, it's enough that it's a toss-up, put it like that, which is a huge thing. Then you have word is that Obama is going to Chicago, or not Obama, but Biden is going to Chicago for some campaigning. You know, you have Fetterman in Pennsylvania going neck to neck with Dr. Oz, and you're going to Chicago? With all the rumors of, or with the analysts saying that it's possible that the Republicans could pick up 60 seats in the House of Representatives and even take the Senate, you would think Chicago would be a safe bet that you would want to focus elsewhere, but that's not apparently the case. Something's not right with that. That leads me to believe that there is a cause for concern within the Democrat Party right now. And quite right, so there should be. The Fed raised interest rates by 0.75 percentage point again, which means they're still using that as a means by which to get inflation under control. And so that just reinforces for the polling that says that they think we're already, I think it was 53% reference that we're already in a recession and we're going in the wrong direction. That action only reinforces that. And then you have Russia and Ukraine still doing their thing, and there's no resolution there. And even today, it looks like there's increased tensions between North and South Korea, with North Korea launching like 20 missiles, I think it is. So you combine that with the election next week, and you do have a great deal of cause for alarm. Matter of fact, if Biden and Trump were to go head-to-head next week in the election, with Biden being an incumbent, with everything going on, he would lose. If everything remains exactly the same, and with everything going on right now, if the next presidential election was next week, and it was Biden against Trump, Biden would lose. And I'm going to go on the record and make some predictions here. I believe it is a high likelihood if they don't do something legally to knock Trump out and he don't croak out, I think Trump will... his ego will not allow him to keep from running in 2024. I think he's already dropping the hints. And I'm going to throw out the legal thing because there's people claiming that Merrick Garland is waiting until after the midterm elections to go after Trump. If that's the case, let me just go ahead and say right now, I said some nice things about him before, but if he's going to play the political game and wait till after midterms because it might empower Trump supporters, Merrick Garland is a partisan piece of shit who needs to just go ahead and resign, retire, and get it over with. I take back every nice thing I said, if that's what happens. But let's look at it. 2023 is when primaries start ramping up for the 2024 election. If you go into 2023 and the issue with Russia and Ukraine is not dealt with. You have increased tensions between North and South Korea. You have high inflation, people struggling to get by. Basically a recession without officially a recession. High gas prices. Basically, if you go into 2023 and everything is remaining the same, and let's be realistic, give them till April 2023, a little leeway. And you get to April 2023, not a market improvement, perceivable. If you're Biden, I wouldn't even bother running for re-election. I would bow out. Because at that point, anyone would be able to challenge him for the nomination and win. And the thing is, there's no guarantee that, as far as the economy goes, that we can rebound because we've never been in this exact situation before. Never. So, let's say Trump does decide to run. Who will the Republicans run against him? Right now, it looks like Mike Pence, who ain't going to get it. Liz Cheney, who ain't going to get it. But who else? They got no one. So we're looking at, if Biden does run, and Trump decides to run again, unless he gets knocked out or he falls over dead, what you're looking at is Trump versus Biden again. And I don't know if Biden will be capable of beating Trump a second time. He's shown himself. I mean, there's been a lot of people indicate that, Biden looks weak and frail, and they're questioning his sanity. Biden is losing a lot of supporters. I don't even, I've seen videos where Bill Maher has been lighting up the left a good bit. He's seemingly moving to a more centrist position. And I think that's a huge indicator of where a lot of people are. You have people like Tulsi Gabbard rejecting the Democrat Party as a whole and calling on others to do it. And there's a lot of people starting to back that sentiment. When you put everything together, you put trends with, look at the African American and Hispanic communities. There's been some trending there toward the Republicans as well. Look at what has happened with Hispanic voters in Texas. Some key demographics for the Democrat Party are like, we're not doing so hot under this guy, let's go elsewhere. This isn't just conjecture. This is, what was it? Mayra Flores, I think was her name. Look at what she won, how she did. That should tell you something. even with the last election, look at some of the demographics that Trump did better in than predecessors. You combine that with people being fed up because there's no guarantee we will be out of this economic funk by the 2024 election. Because like I said, we've never been in this exact situation before. If that happens, Trump can run on the nostalgia. Remember when, before the pandemic hit, how good things were? Elect me and you can have that again. Cheap gas, cheap groceries. We were getting along better with North Korea. We were getting along better with Russia. He could run on that platform alone and has a good likelihood that he would be able to beat Biden. Because what does Biden have to show for as far as accomplishments? That's a good question, isn't it? A lot of what he can stick his hat on would be like, the unemployment's gone down, but did he really do anything when the employment went down because the economy reopened from a complete shutdown? Or pretty much complete shutdown. Is that really his accomplishment? Or is it just the natural progression? Because eventually the economy would have had to have been opened back up. That's not a matter of anyone. That's whoever was in office would be irrelevant to that. I mean, it was inevitable that it would occur, and therefore unemployment would go down. Same way, it's irrelevant who would have been in office for the economical situation we're in, because we went through a complete hard shutdown and restarted the economy. So the situation we're in is inevitable, but it's the perception. Or perception or matter of persuasion, because as I have said before, I think it was my American politics teacher said, the president's greatest power is the power of persuasion. Does Biden have what it takes to persuade people that he really did bring down the unemployment and that, he's really solving things? I don't think he does have that perception or that ability. But I think Trump would be better in marketing and positioning himself to say, hey, I did it before. Think of how good things were before the pandemic. I can do it again, just reelect me. And before you say he's for Trump or he's this, he's that, I made it clear I want a third party to come to power, to rise, and have a prominent stake in the election. And I've said it before, I think a large portion of our politicians need to retire. And I'm more than happy to throw Trump and Biden both into that mix. So where do we stand? If my prediction is, right now it looks like there's a good chance Trump versus Biden in 2024. And I don't think Biden will be able to beat him. I'm not entirely sure the Democrats are going to survive the midterms, holding both houses of Congress. I don't even know if they're going to come out of this holding one house of Congress. It may not be Republicans having a supermajority, but I see I can see them flipping both houses, truth be told. And if that happens, Biden becomes a lame duck president, and it will be very hard for him to accomplish anything and have it spun to favor him. It'll just mainly be, I think it wound up being a deadlock, truth be told. And going into the next election cycle, I don't see how he can survive for re-election at this time. I think his best bet would be to be a one and done president. Problem is, if you're the Democrat Party, who do you get to run in 2024? They don't really have a good candidate, and Republicans don't really have anyone better than Trump except for DeSantis, and I don't foresee him getting anything. So let's face it, really and truthfully, neither party really has anyone lined up for 2024. So, yay! It looks like Trump versus Biden unless something changes. Enjoy that. I'll try and have a link or two below. Let me know what you think.